Well, actually, it was like this. It was much easier for me just to stop.
Not the
Hard version,
the
extreme version.
case. Hello, everybody. This is the first podcast we record in English with my wife, Gosia.
Hello.
So today we're gonna resurrect the podcast, which was called like my old YouTube channel, and then we renamed it. So the podcast is named Anti-Path, because we have a lot of ideas how to live in a anti-cultural manner and making choices that are rather different from the mainstream. So this was the idea behind the name. And we're gonna talk today, of course, about dumb phones, what I learned by using 2 years a dumb phone. So this will be basically my experience, not yours.
Well, it will be also my experience. Maybe not using a dumb phone for 2 years.
But you have used a dumb phone before.
Yes, for 1 month or 2 months.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. So, I can add something.
Some context from a mother's perspective.
Exactly.
What I have learned, let's start by this. I have learned that it's far easier to live without a smartphone than to have a smartphone, actually. But it was not something I have felt at the beginning of this experiment. I wanted to try to have a dumb phone, basically because I liked the Punkt MP01, the design. And so I thought, well, let's try this. But it was also because I remembered those old Nokia phones we had when we were students. And so the Punkt MP01 has reminded me of those phones, but being a nice design, a contemporary design. So that is why I wanted to try it. And it was very, very uncomfortable and painful at the beginning. Is it also your experience?
Yes, it was also my experience. Maybe I will tell my story.
Okay, go.
Because, I was using a smartphone for many years.
Yeah.
And I noticed some symptoms of smartphone addiction.
What were those symptoms?
Well, because during a day I had a very little time for me because I'm a mom of 2 little girls. So, I was busy with all the stuff around them. Mm-hmm. And during the evening, during the night, I was watching YouTube,
Okay, so
movies.
you used your smartphone to watch YouTube, basically?
Yes, I was so happy that I have some time for me. Mm-hmm. And I started to watch movies in series,
It was a series or long-form movies?
Long-form movies, but in series.
Okay, so the episodes were 1 hour long.
Yes,
okay.
1 hour long. And, the time I was consuming, like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, it was really ambitious.
So I was sleep deprived. I was tired during the day.
But you were tired and sleep deprived because of the time you spent on watching those movies, or you were watching movies because you had trouble sleeping?
No. I was watching because I wanted to distract myself, to have some time for me. And YouTube started, to propose me some new movies.
You are a victim of the YouTube's algorithm.
Yes, so it was the one thing. And the second thing was related to notifications and the messages that I received from applications like WhatsApp. I was all the time during the day, I was distracted because I received some short messages from my friends. Mm-hmm. And it was really, a lot.
But it was too much because you had too much friends or because they used too much WhatsApp?
I think that they use too much WhatsApp.
Because, the premise of WhatsApp is somehow useful. It's just to connect people across the world without having to pay extremely high communication fees.
I agree, but when you have, a group on WhatsApp for in school for
Okay.
your
So it were
daughter
so it
in
were other moms who were
kindergarten, from your friends,
Mhm.
old-time friends from school, from other parents, it's really a lot.
So you were distracted by the notifications?
Yes, and I saw that, I am not present here. I need to change something. And you were already using a dumb phone, and you offered me one, and it was funny.
I wanted to buy the Punkt MP02, so I bought the Punkt MP02, and I told you, hey, I've got the 01, use it.
Yes, one day you just gave me a dumb phone,
because I saw
and
your story is excellent. Now, how I saw it, I saw that you became more and more stressed. And I didn't know why until you told me that you pass an extreme amount of time watching some kind of movies on YouTube, and that is very difficult for you to not watch those movies. And that is why I told you, I was stressed also. And when I started to using the dumb phone, actually, my stress went way, way down.
Well, actually, it was like this. You just, in the morning, my smartphone disappeared.
I forced you.
Yes,
Okay.
and I received a dumb phone from you.
Okay.
I was completely unprepared for
Do
this.
you think
I had
it was
some
a good idea?
obligation. No, it was not a good idea because I had some obligations,
Okay,
to
so
you
I forced
remember?
you. Yeah. I forced you to be out of your comfort zone, basically, because you went for a meeting.
I had a meeting in a kindergarten, and
kindergarten, and you had no possibility to make a scan. You had
Yes,
no possibility
exactly.
to note something because on the Punkt you cannot even
Yes.
make a text note. Nothing works. Basically, you can only call and send a message. That's it.
But it worked in a sense that I became much more aware of my addiction. But also it was difficult because I have a lot of things to do. I'm a personal assistant of my daughter.
Yeah,
I need to send a lot of
messages.
text messages.
Yeah.
And on a dumb phone, it's not possible.
Yeah, because you have to click 3 times to make a letter.
So I was very angry, and it was completely outside of my comfort zone.
But you were angry at the phone or at me
At you.
for forcing you?
At you.
Okay.
But luckily, you gave me a new phone.
It was the Unihertz.
Unihertz.
No, it was not the Titan Pocket.
No?
It was the small one, the Atom.
Okay.
It
So
was the
I don't
Atom.
remember it.
It was the Atom, and then we replaced it by a Titan Pocket because you wanted to have a keyboard to send those messages. So basically, I started solving your problem.
Exactly. And everything was blocked on this phone. Like
Not
internet,
everything.
not everything, but I was not able to browse.
Yeah, I prepared a special kind of Android system that had only the useful applications. So I left SMS messages, I left a calendar, I left a task manager we used together, I left mapping, I think I left also. And it was in grayscale mode. And you could not access internet via a browser.
Yes. So
And how was using this?
it was great.
It was great.
Yes,
Okay.
it was great.
And
So-
later on with the Titan Pocket, which had a keyboard, it was even better because you had the possibility to use the keyboard. It solved the problem for you with sending SMS messages.
yes, and then for some organizational reasons, you gave me once again a smartphone.
An iPhone, yeah, because
iPhone.
because my work forced me to use iOS. And I later on figured that I don't need to have an iPhone. I can actually configure at work an iPad, which I did, but earlier on for compatibility reasons, I gave you an iPhone. It's my fault.
Yes, and I can confirm that smartphones are designed to be addictive.
Tell me.
I found a way to connect
To browse the internet.
internet, yes, through Google Maps.
By using Google Maps application, yeah. Because I prepared also the iPhone in such a way that Gosia uses just the applications that she needs. So there was no YouTube, there was no internet browser, and she still figured a way to use the internal internet browser, which exists as a part of the Google Maps application.
Yes, but thanks to this experience first with dumb phone and with other phones, I was able to quickly, to quickly notice that I'm starting, this addiction
so you noticed
cycle.
the pattern.
Yes, I noticed the pattern, and I was reacting. I react very quickly.
How have you reacted?
I just realized that I just have to stop. And it was much easier with this experience, not using a smartphone. It was much easier for me just to stop.
Okay, so basically the experience of using a dumb phone made you aware of the addiction mechanisms.
Yes.
And when you saw that you are visiting far too often the internal browser inside of Google Maps, you said to yourself, okay, Gosia, let's stop it because it will not serve you.
Exactly, and I think that it is very good to use dumb phone even for 1 month or 2 months. You are using for 2 years.
2 years,
great.
Yeah. No, I will never go back to using an iPhone or a smartphone for this reason. And I have also this experience because I went back to an iPhone before configuring my iPad, and I thought that after using a dumb phone exclusively, I am cured. I will not be addicted I will not perpetuate those behaviors I had before. And actually, in 2 weeks, I was exactly at the same point as I was before trying using a Punkt, which is crazy. So 2 years basically does not cancel the addictive mechanisms. That is why I am saying to people that making technological detoxes is not really a good solution, because once you finish the detox, you will be exactly where you've been before the detox. But making a break by using a dumb phone for at least, I think, 2 months can be useful if you want to see where your discomfort lies. And so you saw, for example, without having the access to all the applications, that what you need was GPS navigation and a fast way to receive and send SMS messages. My experience is completely different. I don't want to send messages because when I started calling people, I actually started appreciating talking to people. And so I'm glad that my phone is not allowing me to text easily, because that is why I call people. And it's not your experience at all. You prefer SMS messages.
I agree that that it's better to call people. But sometimes, there is no such a possibility, or it's easier for both just to send a text message. But of course, when I would like to discuss something about my daughter's swimming class, of course that I will call. I am aware of this pattern that I was also hiding behind a phone. It's much easier to send a text message than to call and to build some relation.
Especially if you have some bad news to tell. You don't see the reaction of the people on the other side. My experience is that I'm not socially very capable, which means that even though I'm vlogging, etc., I'm forcing myself basically to expand my social capabilities. But if I have the possibility to hide behind some technology, I will do it. And that is why I am not using a smartphone, because if I had the possibility, I would probably send more SMS messages, text messages, than calling people. Okay, so Gosia, will you use a dumb phone in the future, or will you stay using an iPhone?
I prefer to use a dumb phone, but not, that
not
hard version, extreme version.
Case, okay.
Yes, like you. But this Unihertz Titan Pocket, it was something.
Okay, it was a middle ground. It was Android-based. When you consider such minimalistic or feature phones, do you think about what is happening under the system? That, for example, Android sends a lot of data to Google, and that probably Punkt is not sending this amount of data?
No,
Or you
I
don't
think
care?
it's another topic,
Okay, so we will have an iPhone for sale, and we will buy a Titan Pocket, a Unihertz Titan Pocket. That's it. Thank you for this time, and see you in the
Thank you.
next episode. Bye.
Bye.